And there we have them. And honestly, at first sight, at first glance, there's nothing really too surprising here. We see Dracotail, we see Ryzeal Onomat. Of course, the Onomat part being kind of surprising. And also Ryzeal in general doesn't look to be that obvious either, because that one was hit quite harshly on the last Forbidden and Limited list. But there is something hiding in this deck as well, and I hope we are going to find out. But we start things off here with Onomato Pyra, discarding a card to search for not one, but 2 Onomat cards.
And I mean, Ryzeal is one of those decks that, yeah, it got hit in the current Forbidden and Limited list, but we can still expect it to perform really well in any environment, since it is a very strong deck still, and Onomatopia gives this extra edge. And I truly believe that Ryzeal is one of those decks that have gone under the radar, and obviously it is something that you still need to be prepared for.
As long as you have a detonator available for your extra deck, I think there's nothing to worry about if you're a Ryzeal enjoyer. That card is still incredibly strong, especially in formats where people are preparing less and less for the deck. And now we got the Onomato Kage.
Yes, new card spotted also from Doom of Dimensions. Also, the Onomat deck did not go without support in that new set, and it is the Onomato Kage, which is always treated as a Zubaba, Giga Gigi, or Go 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 Go, or Do 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 card, and therefore we can send it from the deck with the Do 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 Warrior. Oh, but there is the Molcharmy Fuvalos. Answered though by the Ash Blossom and Joy Spring. What a start here for Arnaud.
And Rui-Philippe would have wished to have this Ash Blossom on his hand against the Onomato Pyra, because this is such a strong start. Izuna is being activated from hand now. The stare into Arnaud's eyes with this, saying, hey, you didn't think that was coming, right?
That's a rough one. And honestly, here now the question, did Rui-Philippe just plan it exactly like that? Because he purposely activated the Molcharmy Fuvalos first. And then, I mean, wait, when he wants to answer it with Ash, we can never really play around Ash, right? We have to always, before the Izuna hits the field, also activate the Fuvalos. So using Ash on the Izuna here would be great, but that already is the moment where we had to beforehand activate the Fuvalos. So there was no real chance to get that Fuvalos through anyhow.
And to be fair, we had discussed in previous round about this engine that Izuna with Lupis is very strong in the current meta state, and Dracotail is one of those decks that can afford to play an Izuna with a Lupis and actually gain advantage.
Oh, and I told you there's something hiding in Arnaud's deck, and it is a Zoodiac package. Since the last Forbidden and Limited list, Zoodiac Barrage, completely unlimited. You can play 3 copies, how many you like, how many you could imagine, and also, maybe even the more important part, in your extra deck, you are finally able, again, to use that so powerful Zoodiac Dryden as well.
The GOAT. This card has been incredible. When it first came out, many people feared this card. Many more people loved this card. I mean, our co-caster Marcello Barberi, he won Euros with it, undefeated. What a card. Also, this is almost nostalgic for me.
It is.
I mean, I really appreciate the moment that we talked about the Detonator, one of those XCs that have the effect to destroy a face-up card on the field. However, Zoodiac Dryden did it first, right?
Yeah.
Indeed. Okay, Ram now be... This really is a blast from the past.
Ram,
I wasn't ready for Zoodiacs to be a main competitor here this weekend, but here we are now, already in round number 6, and absolutely being in the competition. There is that so powerful monster we have been talking about. There is Zoodiac Dryden.
Yes, this card is a fun interruption when you're starting your first turn, basically. But there's also something else to it, and that is that you can just summon so many different Zoodiac monsters from your extra deck at once. And, oh, interesting. And then you can go for a big Zeus later on, activating the Dryden beforehand. I thought we were just keeping the Dryden on the field to wait for Nash Knight to activate and then pop it.
That's what I thought as well, but no. We do get to just destroy the Nash Knight now in the end, but we did lose one of our level 4 monsters in the process there.
Yep. Onomato Kage goes to the graveyard, back again. This card can summon itself in the next turn again, of course, not in this one. What are we doing now, though, Arnaud? Do you have the
Zoodiac
yes.
9.
The old technology, right?
Of
Activate
course.
Chakanate, since cost is to detach the Zoodiac Dryden, she can be revived again from the effect of Chakanine, and then maybe a Tiger Mortar will be summoned in order to attach material to Trident.
Yep. Very, very nice. Or can the monster can be used as Exceed material or
No.
not? Okay, no. Otherwise, I would have said you could just go into the dual drive from here, but just reviving. That's a lot of extra deck space, though.
It is, and I mean, your theory there was spot on, but there is not actually even the Tiger Mortar in the extra deck even. We're only playing Borbo, Chakanine, and Trident.
Oh, don't tell Christian Thomas. He's going to be furious.
Indeed, but we do now just, of course, bring in the other Onomat card that we searched earlier on with our spell card with the Onomat Para, and we brought out that Ganbara Knight, and that allows us to go into another rank 4 here. Which one is that going to be?
The question is, what is the Chakanine doing here, though? Is that really something you want to do with this? The Ram, of course, on the field can still revive a monster from the graveyard if it's being destroyed.
And she can also be used as a link material, but you have been already locked into Xyz.
Oh, we are rewinding.
Oh, wait, hold on, of course! That's basic K9 mathematics. When there is a Lupus underneath an Exceed monster,
It can't
you
be
can never
targeted.
target it with the Trident, of course. That's why we have to rewind here, obviously, as that Zoodiac Trident could never go after Renash Knight, which makes the situation a whole lot more difficult now, because all of a sudden, it becomes really hard, because we now can wait with that Nash Knight interruption.
Yeah, but Nash Knight needs to detach for
As a
cost,
cost,
right? And
yeah.
then you can target it, so it actually makes the situation a whole lot better for Arnaud.
Yeah, because since he will not have a target in order to attach, I think it's better for Arnaud to be there.
that is all of a sudden turning way better for Arnaud. He still has the Ganbara Knight in hand now.
Actually true, alright. Arnaud considering which rank 4 is this going to be now with the Trident still up on the field. Not an easy decision the way it looks. So we do not have to commit into the Ganbara Knight from the hand now anymore, as we... Oh, just simply the duo drive. Of course, we have so far not even gone into the Ryzeal part of our deck. So searching the now limited X Ryzeal could be crazy good here, because that could then just lead to sending more cards.
Oh yeah, definitely. I thought you were going to say this can negate the Nash Knight then, but again,
No.
the Lupus is under there.
But I mean, the situation right now is very, very in favor of Arnaud, because by this situation he has generated a lot of advantage, and of course we see X, one of the cards that was hit during the latest Forbidden Unlimited list, and I think it is one of those cards that really want to see right now.
Also, another funny thing here, I just thought, okay, maybe next turn for Rui-Philippe, the player, is to just turn Nash Knight into attack position and run over Trident. But fun fact, Ram has 2,000 defense points, and those transfer to the Zoodiac Trident, so you can't even do that.
Absolutely. Okay, so we searched for X Ryzeal and for Node Ryzeal. So at the very least, we could get a detonator out of that. But maybe, because we still have now the Ganbara Knight also in the hand, there could be another step in between. Ooh, we sent the Ga Girl.
Fee, Ga.
Yeah, I think I missed the Ga there. Yeah, true.
This card, of course, not the best send for X, but if you can't target your opponent's monster anyways, and you think, hey, I've basically used my entire Onomat engine already, I do not need this card, I might get back the X with a Ryzeal Cross or something, and then I can send a Mariologic Aggregator or Twins. Do we even play Twins?
Sword
Yeah.
Ryzeal. Yeah, you do play Twins, yeah. Sword Ryzeal.
Maybe
what can we
we'll
get?
go into Twins later on.
Ice Ryzeal. Yeah, I think in the regular Onomat Ryzeal decks, you would usually also hard summon Twins a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So that may be what we are up for here as well. Oh, Ryzeal Cross now available too. That's so strong. One thing which also historically the Ryzeal Onomat deck has been doing was going into Infernal Flame Banshee maybe as well to search out Protos. That could be something that they have in their deck too. Not too sure, but possibly we'll find out here. But that, first of all, is a detonator. Still, though, no Ryzeal waiting in the hand.
Ash Blossom Joy Spring is being attached. Always a little bit of a fun note for me. I mean, the Nash Knight is still looking incredibly strong. They're not being able to be hit by targeting effects, but...
But the Ryzeal Cross now, right?
Yeah.
Like, the Ryzeal Cross just deals with it now.
And I mean, at this point, it's better just to keep it than go for a Zeus play, maybe.
Oh,
Ryzeal
Star
Star
Ryzeal
as
still
well.
has a target, so we play another spell trap in this deck too. It is the plasma hole. What a setup Arnaud is creating here. I thought Ryzeal was hit on the latest Forbidden Limited list, but it doesn't look like it surely here with that field already there.
Who needs a detonator pop if you can have detonator pops and a Zoodiac Trident next to it? That is the fourth pop. Very, very cool here. I mean, there are still 2 monsters on the field that look like they want to be Exceeds summoned here. Yep, used for Exceeds summon. Do we go into Rafflesia now?
We could go into Banshee too. There is the
Yeah.
Infernal Flame Banshee. Ay. Rui-Philippe, he probably knows what's coming here. Detaches the star Ryzeal and reveals that there is, after all of those already difficult different parts in his deck, like there is Ryzeal cards, there's Onomat cards, there is also the Zoodiac cards, there even is, but that also doesn't really take that much space up, there even is a Nemesis package, a very small one in there.
Yeah, but what attribute do you call right now? So you have seen only K9 cards, and you can probably think that your opponent is on K9 Vanquish, for example, because it's not so popular in Dracotail, or maybe Crystron. So a good option would be Water in order to deal with a potential Crystron threat, but I really think that there will be a mini mind game right there.
I feel like, by the way, there is the hard summon Eclipse Twins as we were suspecting, and then we can just send off the Eclipse Twins for the Node Ryzeal. Very well played. Arnaud is really playing perfectly here. Love the way he's executing this. And I feel like maybe just calling Water isn't too bad. Just calling Water, get rid of the Nash Knight, and then go from there, because you're at least immediately dealing with one threat, and the Nash Knight afterwards will be gone. Because, as you say, besides that, you don't really have that much information just yet. So I feel like that's a good call, just going for the Water.
Dealing with your opponent monster and also play for a potential Crystron deck.
But I mean, the monster is already kind of dealt with. I think Dark would also be very sensible to call, but you can't... Oh yeah, Protos is Dark, so you can always use Protos to call Dark. I mean, how happy are you about Protos, by the way, Mike?
Yeah, my boy is back.
Ooh, your most favorite card. Oh, another rank 4. I can't even, like...
This is Red Gadget plus Ultimate Offering. This is crazy.
At this point, how many Exceed summons have we done? And what on earth is this? What year are we in? This is, without a joke, number 106, Giant Hand, a previous prize card. Nowadays, a little easier to get your hands on the Giant Hand. Still, not often to be seen.
Oh my days, this card is crazy. Nemesis Flag also. We are not stopping here. This is the biggest Exceeds field I have ever seen. I did not see the Giant Hand coming.
Same.
Who would have thought that this deck needs, like... Oh, I think I can, in my first turn combo, I can make another rank 4. I can put in Giant Hand.
This is hilarious.
I've been through so many great cards in this format that I want to add Giant Hand as well, a card from 2014.
Hear me out, Diamond Direwolf, next season.
Oh, that's good.
Oh,
no,
we're
12?
not done yet.
2012?
I think it must be earlier, to be honest. On the other end, it's an Exceed, so it cannot be that much earlier.
Yeah,
Well,
I think 12 is correct.
Chat can let us know which year it was. Oh, now the Nash Knight, finally. Oh, we're turning it into his attack position with the Gambara. Now we're banishing from the field and the graveyard for the Protoss, giving up on the Gambara and the Arch Nemesis. Or no, the Nemesis, rather. And now, Rui-Philippe, do you interact with this? Do you have anything on the summon of the Protoss? Because technically you could try to use the Nash Knight here, but it will always be negated, though.
What could you still have to
Or
use
destroyed.
here? Dude, Nibiru plus Typhoon would go super hard here.
Oh, but we just passed. Oh,
So
that
we
means
probably
we must have
called
called Dark.
Dark,
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely we must have called Dark. And that huge combo here by the Ryzeal Onomat deck is in the end good enough for Arnaud to take down game number 1 here. And I mean, let's not disregard the Zoodiac cards in there as well. Those were a main factor here.
Yeah, those are definitely the cards that broke the field. Actually, the Trident kept the Nash Knight in checkmate, so that was pretty strong there.
And yeah, to be fair, it's not only that Barrage was an extender, but they also give the opportunity to play against the Nash Knight. And generally speaking, for a lot of interactions right now in the meta state that Trident can deal with. And I mean, it is one of those cards that if you play, for example, rank 4 Xyz deck, you want to have the 3 Barrage to just have an extra body and also generate one of the most powerful cards ever printed.
I feel like that's the main reason, right? Just having the chance, it's basically emergency teleport for a level 4 monster. for that alone, it's already good in Ryzeals because they are sometimes now lacking that access. Usually there were so many Ryzeals, so you just kept on extending with them. But now with the limited amount of Ryzeals, I really like having bigger access to other level 4 monsters as well.
Also, Check-A-9 can get you a body back after you use the Trident effect to pop something, and then you can use the Check-A-9 to go into the twins. So
that works.
That
True.
should still be
works.
very, very valuable. What you do with the Ram then, I'm not quite sure yet, but it's still... You can probably at some point pop it and then get something else from the graveyard back. So there must be some ways to utilize this card as well. I'm pretty sure that Arnaud has thought this whole situation through, but
Surely.
also already threatening a pop so easily with a special summon from the deck with Zoodiac Barrage. That's crazy. How big is our Zoodiac package?
You do play triple Zoodiac Barrage, which is cool to see because it is, as we said, just that really, really easy extender. One Ram, one Red Pier, and that's about it. It's pretty small in terms of monsters, but it's enough to just do what it is supposed to do. There's more barrages than actual Zoodiac monsters in the deck, but I think you would always just rather draw the barrage, so that absolutely makes sense as well. But now, mind game. We know what we are playing. We know that we are on the Zoodiac, Ryzeal, Onomat deck. But what are we expecting from our opponent now? For side taking and stuff, they have used Izuna and Lupus. They have used the Fuvalos, okay. But how much information is that giving us?
I mean, I think that when you see and face Izuna right now, you first of all think about Vanquishal, obviously. Maybe Crimson, that also had some damage during the latest Forbidden Unlimited list.
Yeah.
But also you can think as a side option Dracotail, because K9 is one of those engines that you play a small package, for example, triple Izuna and one Lupus in the Dracotail, but my mind would definitely go for something like, for example, Vanquishal, to be fair.
I don't think you can tell from Izuna.
You just treat it as a blank game and you just don't know what it is?
I think almost any deck can play Izuna at the moment.
That's what I'm thinking.
If you're not completely struggling with your extra deck, there are so many decks. I can see it even in Mitsurugi decks at this point.
You can exclude, for example, Mitsurugi, because Mitsurugi will probably play Impulse, for example, and not have a conflict with Izuna.
Yeah.
And also Yami doesn't like cards like Izuna because it wants his field empty when starts the turn.
That's true.
Due to obedience and engage. So you can exclude pure Mitsurugi, you can exclude, for example, Yami, but you can also think about Mitsuyami can play Izuna, for example, and any other deck that can potentially treat it as a hand trap and not as an engine.
True. And I mean, even though we saw Vanquishal K9 today already on the featured match, I feel like the popularity of that deck drastically went down since the last Forbidden Unlimited list. So if I would be sitting in his shoes right now, I would not even really be thinking about Vanquishal K9 because just the last couple of weeks after the Forbidden Unlimited list update, at the regionals, you just didn't see that deck too much anymore. So I would just expect something else. And in fact, of course, it is something else here, which will be revealed now, hopefully, in the second game. So let's go back to the table for game number 2.
Now let's see the hand of Rui-Philippe, the Dracotail deck. In some versions it can be incredibly consistent, in some other versions, if you're playing cards like Izuna and many hand trips in the main deck, it's not always that consistent. Sometimes the hands are, we're starting with the Rahu. That is not the best sign, to be honest, because if you have other starters, I don't think you want to start with Rahu. It immediately locks you into fusion summoning.
True.
So you are out of your Lucia's Ecclesia options to go into the Spirit and then go into Seals. So that is already shut down. So if you're seeing a Dracotail player, they start with Rahu, I think you ash it.
Yeah, I will definitely agree on that. A mini-mind game may occur that you start with Rahu if you are expecting something for, like us, for example. But in any case, I think that when your opponent starts with Rahu, you definitely need to interact with it.
It feels like it for sure. And fun fact about Rui-Philippe's deck, he's not even running Seals, which I find to be very, very interesting because that felt like a staple in any kind of Dracotail deck. But of course, he needs the extra deck space as well for those K9 related cards, and therefore there was no space for the Seals anymore.
Wow, that is a choice,
I
want to say, because the Seals gives you so much in the opposing turn. You can bounce a monster non-targeting, of course, but then you can also special summon a Mululu, which is another fusion summon for you, triggers all your graveyard effects, and itself is a negate when it's fused away. I think Seals is one of the best cards you can play then.
And
Agreed.
also you have five mana in the hand. You can also go for Pan, for example, which is also Dragon in order to not fusion someone but destroy a monster. So yeah, it gives a lot to the deck, to be fair.
Speaking of 5 mana, that was the card we just added there. Normal summoned the Dracotail Lucias, which we used for the fusion summon of that Arthalion. So let's see. Now, of course, we did set the other Dracotail spell card, the K2 Dracotail now as well.
I think we're going to get an Urgula here.
Must be, right?
No, it's a Pan.
Ooh, but did we start with Urgula? I felt like the first card we sent to the graveyard was a Pan.
Yeah, it was a Pan.
So we have double Pan.
Maybe as interaction in our opponent's turn.
Oh.
We may not activate 5 mana right now and wait for our opponent's turn to activate 5 mana and use Pan as a fusion material.
But
Possibly.
if we have Pan already in hand...
It's in the graveyard, I think. Yeah, because
Oh yeah, we
with
could
Rahu,
only
yeah.
add one. Yeah, that's true. You're right about that.
Oh.
But I like that because you can also use the Pan from hand and the Arthalion for Filia Regis, which is another great interruption.
True. It is, and this is sometimes what feels to me a little weird about the Dracotail deck, because that field, compared to the field we, for example, just saw in the very last game, sometimes feels so underwhelming, but oftentimes the cool interactivity of it still will win you the game.
Fun fact, I think that Rui just now revealed one of the traps that it was not set with an effect of a Dracotail monster. It was hard drawn into his starting hand. So Arnaud now knows about an extra information, I guess.
Ay, Arnaud, what's our way into this? What are even good cards against Dracotail in general? If you would have to choose one card against Dracotail, going second, which card would you bring in?
Retaliating, for sure.
Retaliating?
Yeah.
That's cap.
I think super polymerization is crazy if you have the Secretarian Dragon.
That is true. I don't think you play this in the rank 4 deck, but
Fair.
what I think is crazy, is not crazy about Retaliating is you can play so easily against it. Like if you activate a fusion spell and then you chain 5 mana to Retaliating Sea gives you nothing. Most of the time it even gets popped or negated afterwards. We start with Sword. I think that's Sword
It's
can
a
search for X.
Weak start. It is a weak start, though. Usually that's the one you definitely want to special summon out. It does give you, when it is resolving with Sword, though, which we are seeing here, but we have used up our normal summon now. On the other hand, though, both the Zoodiac and the Onomat cards are so good in special summoning monsters, so we do not necessarily need our normal summon. Droll and Lockbird, though, even though not as popular anymore in the main deck, still in so many players' side decks, and also in the side deck of Rui-Philippe.
The best thing about Dracotail is it barely has any silver bullet cards. Cards like Droll and Lockbird that shut down Ryzeal Onomat. Cards like Artifact Lancea that shut down the Malice deck. Dracotail does not have that. Yes, Retaliating Sea can stop you really hard if it comes out well, but there are so many cards you can have in your hand that stop it. If you have Ecclesia or 5 mana, Retaliating Sea barely does anything.
Oh, you can already tell by the way he's holding that card, that should be X Ryzeal. What are we sending? We could send Valon here to go after one of those set cards. We even know which is which, so that would be nice. But no, we instead do again go for the send of the Ga girl.
So I'm guessing that we don't play Valon, right?
That is a valid guess. Let me check.
It's a
you are
valid
right.
guess.
It is a marvelous guess. We have to use up our extra deck for other cards, such as Giant Hand, right? So we don't have access to Valon
Do we play
anymore.
any crazy X target in that deck? Because now that you only have X as a one-off, I wonder if it's even worth it. You barely start with it. You have Bonfire at 1.
I mean, Valon is a generally good card, to be fair.
I mean, you have Eclipse Twins, but as we saw when you're playing your regular combo, you just rather want to actually hard summon that. So there is no real target anymore. You're right.
It's crazy.
Okay, rank 4 is allowed. We weren't able to surge with the X, so it's not as scary anymore, especially when it only is sending the Gaga girl. So what is this? Is this maybe Exciton Knight?
Oh, that could be a
Or Giant Hand.
choice, yeah.
Giant Hand would be probably Giant Hand. With the way he confidently summoned it in game 1, surely it's another Giant Hand.
But the thing is, Excite Knight doesn't really do too much. You just chain Horn, you bounce one of your cards, you don't draw a card.
Or is it Baguska maybe? Oh yeah, he's thinking about Baguska. It actually... Oh, it's Chakanai.
And in
Chaka.
attack position also.
That
which is
smells like a Zeus.
very problematic, I guess.
But
Horn.
Zeus won't work anymore, as we have
Yeah,
summoned
that's
X
true.
Ryzeal already, so...
That's a very good point, yeah.
It'd be a dangerous Zeus.
Also, this is the prime Horn bait. At this point, this is so obviously playing into Horn, I don't even know if I would activate
Okay,
it.
it's just Trident. Hello. That works. Easy.
But Trident is also in attack position.
It is. Because it has marvelous 0 attack points.
Yes, and Horn only bounces monsters in attack position, so that actually can be answered quite quickly. Maybe Arnaud is under the impression that he can't be horned.
So Pan has a secret effect,
Yes.
which Arnaud should be curious about, but in any case, there's no valid target at the moment in the graveyard for Pan.
True, not only Pan summons a non-fusion monster from the graveyard back if a fusion monster is destroyed, but also Horn can be activated without the draw under Droll and Lockbird.
That's where that misunderstanding could come from, right?
Yeah.
Maybe he thinks he can't activate it, but you don't have to draw a card with
On
the
my first
Dracotail
tournament,
trap
I thought I couldn't activate it, that's how I lost the game.
cards. Classic Leo.
Yeah.
Okay, we're targeting the Arphaleon. Okay. That works. No response. Goes to the graveyard. Rui-Philippe also being like, yeah, that's actually okay. It's not doing too much on the field anyways. It can come back easily too, so I don't mind it at all.
And now Trident is out here. Trident has been used for the turn. Now Fimena is just absolutely free. You're not even playing into Droll and Lockbird with those effects.
Oh.
Triple Tactic Talents.
You gotta look into the hand, right?
If you look into the hand, you can chain Fimena, fuse everything, and then there is nothing in the hand.
Oh, you're right. Oh, we're just negating it.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense, yeah.
Fair game. You just negate it. Use the Dracotail horn on it.
Flame.
Oh, wait, no, the flame, indeed.
Yeah. Oh, we can't do that.
That won't
That
work.
one
No,
won't
no.
work. Nope.
Ah, that
Oh, you
is
can't
not what you're
draw
supposed
cards
to do.
here. Nope, not at all. We have Lockbird. Basti is just communicating that to the judges.
But I really liked your play, Leo, since talent can only be activated only for probably C hand, since I don't think that you want to take a Lucius, despite being a level 4 though, right? Fimena as a chilling 2 would be devastating, since you can fuse your entire hand and special summoning Arthalion to bring back your hand wraps that you want and a potential follow-up, and then just let your opponents just resolve a talent without a valid target.
You can even loop the draw Lockbird for next turn if you need it, or if you want to fuse it away. That would have been such an easy solution. But also Horn or Flame without the draw is super fine against that. I'm quite curious what Arnaud is trying to do with the Borbo here.
Indeed, but I think we're just addressing the fact that the card was drawn. So let's quickly bring it back over to us for a moment until the judges have that situation resolved. Because of course we now need to figure out what the card was that they drew there also. So let's give them a moment of time. I'm sure they will be able to figure it out. I think even I just saw what card that was. I think also it was an Ash Blossom, so probably we will be able to figure that out. Still though, let's the judges do their thing. We're here for casting, so we can talk some more, and then when the judges are done with their job and they have resolved the situation, we can just continue at the table. And Leo, I know you have been playing a lot of Dracotail actually lately,
I love the deck
right?
so much. The deck is so much fun. I've been playing the small Magistus package together with Ecclesia. Ecclesia is the coolest card in the deck. Normal summoning Ecclesia brings you infinite amounts of joy.
Yes.
This card is crazy. If you have to start with Rahu, which you rarely have to do actually if you start with Ecclesia, it's good if it's still on the field. You can go into Guardian Chimera.
Hate to interrupt you though.
Yes.
Game is continuing, so let's go back to the table because I think we find ourselves in the battle phase already. We have summoned the Borbo, and there is now,
Flame.
you called it
Horn.
the prime bait. Dracotail Horn is being used on the Borbo. I agree with you. I don't know what we were afraid of here, but we are still using the Horn on it.
Yep. We are just now, I think, still discussing which card has to be... Oh, the judges are trying to take the card out of the hand. All right. The card that has been drawn for Flame has been put to the top of the deck. Horn is now being activated. And the Borbo... I mean, the thing is, the Borbo is even fine, right? X was summoned, you can't get Zeused.
Yeah, I think that you don't need to interact with Borbo.
Yeah.
To be fair.
That felt unnecessary. So if Arnaud now has more extenders in hand, that could still lead to a good situation for him. And
But what are you extending with? You can summon Ice from hand, of course. You still have the Fimena with Pan, though. So there is a lot of...
hold on, though.
You can't pan that.
You cannot pan that indeed, because it cannot be destroyed by card effects. So here we are, the hard-drawn Protos. Mike, your most favorite card is maybe getting this game completely the other way around all of a sudden.
Protos cannot be destroyed by card effect, however, it can be returned to the hand by card effect.
Okay.
That is true, but I mean, it was summoned in defense anyway, so Horn wouldn't have done anything here.
Now will have, though.
Oh yeah, true, Athelion, of course.
Yes.
But then, you still have a lot of resources if you get to set K2 and Rahu. So I don't know.
And I'm pretty sure that you cannot summon it again.
I mean, technically you could, but just with the attributes, you're probably going to be struggling, right? I agree, that would possibly be a hard task. Is this maybe also why we just sent the Gaga girl the entire time, to just have an extra dark monster in the graveyard? That seems sensible.
But I think the funny thing about this is Protoss versus Dracotail actually doesn't do too much. There is not a lot of attributes that you're suffering from. Like, you can even go for Athelion, bounce back some resources, and then...
Forbidden Droplet, hold on! That Athelion is not going to resolve, and all of a sudden, resources for Rui-Philippe might be getting tight here a little.
I mean, he gets to set with Lucius.
True.
At least you should try, There we go with the Rahu and the K2. Those cards help you a lot.
Yeah,
I think there was another trap card that is still in the deck, so there might be a Sting there. Even though it looked green, but maybe that was on me.
A nice play that I like to do with Dracotail is to set both K2, for example, both Rahu, so I don't need to think about if my opponent would interact with one of them.
Oh, yeah. It's a good shout.
I think at this point, since you know that your opponent has nothing else to interact with you, since Protoss has been summoned, you can definitely go for one of it.
So in Ryzeal Onomat circles, we call this Protoss and Prey, but how well is this going to work out for Rui-Philippe here?
And you called Earth, right? That does nothing right here. Yes, Arthelion, you're locked out of Arthelion, and that is maybe an issue. Actually, Rui-Philippe, he has picked up another K2 that does not do too much. What can you do here? So, you cannot go for K2, search Lucius to get more, targets, because you're locked out of Earth effects.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go for Secretarian and just Reborn.
Yeah. You can actually, we're taking it back over to us for a second. The players are debating what can you do in the situation of Dracotail. You have Rahu and you have K2, you have an Ash Blossom. And I really want to talk about Dracotail with y'all.
No, he asked the judges, I think, what can I even do here? Can you guys please help me real quick? Can you guys get involved? No, just joking, of course. I think one final thing that they maybe have to sort out is whether he's still drawing the Ash Blossom, because that was the top card and
I think it was put
returned.
back in the last turn.
Yeah, but is it still the top card, Because you would draw the top card. So, maybe it is, maybe it's not.
The Rahu and K2 were set afterwards.
True, yeah, you're right. So
the deck was shuffled.
No, totally, you're right.
But what you can do, of course, if you have K2 and there is a Protoss and you can't pop this card, you just search Mululu.
Yeah.
And then you're having a good time, because you're actually just going for your Gulamel. With the K2 you get to fuse with the Ash from hand. That is not the best thing. You can also just add Mululu and then activate Rahu and then go for one Gulamel. You can set the third trap in your deck if you're running this one, or you set more follow-up and then you activate Gulamel. You chain it to your Mululu, you negate, and then it's cool.
It's perfect. It's all good, I think. And that second game really is leaning into the direction of Rui-Philippe. And I think this is one of those games where maybe Arnaud really has to think about conceding. Like with the double loss rule, with the new time rules that we have applying here for this event, you have to save every second that may be unnecessary to play out. So this feels like a spot where even if he just didn't do it immediately, because the Protoss is a viable thing to do first of all, maybe soon he would have to consider that, because, I mean, it's still a little over 20 minutes, but you want to be able to play it out completely in the third game.
We talked about it, that it's a very important skill right now to know when to commit and when to just give your opponent the game, since you need the extra time and you want to avoid the match loss.
Yeah.
But
I think Arnaud had...
No extra time needed, because players are ready again. Back to the table we go, because, of course, we want to see what actually is happening there.
So I think that in this situation, Arnaud does not have to concede. Rui-Philippe, he used 2 trap cards under Drone Lockbird, couldn't recycle anything, and now he basically has to play with just fusions. And that sometimes just isn't enough. Arnaud hasn't gone through Detonator, through Dual Drive, through nothing, basically.
You can recycle with a new trap.
Sorry?
You can recycle the traps with a new trap with Sting.
Yeah, true.
Don't forget that.
If you have Sting. Because that card, I don't know if I would side it against Onomat.
Yeah, probably not.
You're right.
I've seen something red in the deck. Actually, maybe we can have a look.
It could be other trap cards as well, though, right? It's not necessarily going to be another Dracotail trap. It could just also be something generic like Dimensional Barrier or something like that. We do go ahead and grab Mululu from our deck now, which of course is not an Earth monster, so can freely use its effect, even though the Protoss resolved.
I don't even think you fuse here.
Yeah.
You have Ash Blossom in hand, and I think another spell card. So I think you activate Rahu next and use Mululu and Urgula. So you can actually get more resources back with the Urgula from the graveyard.
You do.
And you can keep the Ash Blossom, because this card might be super important. We're now in the grind game state, and you might need this.
I like the fact that you have seen the whole game in your head and just explained before it can happen, right? And I think that will probably, you will be correct again, and Gulamel will be summoned into the field, and we have Chaining 1 Gulamel, Chaining 2 Mululu, and Chaining 3.
I mean, Chaining 3 Gulamel doesn't really do anything here, because Protoss on Chaining 3 can still not be destroyed.
Chaining 1 Gulamel, Chaining 2 Mululu, and Chaining 3 Urgula.
Ah, yeah, Urgula. Yeah, yeah, but you can't use the Gulamel in Chaining 1. It has to chain to the Dracotail.
Yeah.
So I think that you're just going to use Mululu and Urgula here. You keep the Gulamel, because later on you use Urgula to get back the 5 mana, and then you chain Gulamel.
I think that works easily. So Rui-Philippe considering which way around he wants to do this, but looks like, we are resolving now the graveyard effects, and there is another K2 Dracotail. Oh no, this is Rahu Dracotail first, but probably also... is there a trap?
Is there only one?
We're only setting one. That's not great.
I wonder if he announced 2 effects. All right, okay. So now that we're basically out of cards right now, Arnaud might find an easy way to get back into this game, but now Urgula, Chain, Gulamel has to be the play here. Thing is, if you add 5 mana, 5 mana is very valid as an interruption on the opposing turn as well. You can activate 5 mana, chain Gulamel, pop a card, and then fuse away Gulamel as the Dracotail monster with the Ash Blossom from your hand for another Athelion. Also, there is a chance that you're going to activate an Athelion from your graveyard in the next turn. We're under Protoss still.
Do we remember to activate Gulamel? It didn't look like he activated it. Hold on. No Gulamel was used, everyone. Did Rui-Philippe maybe lose his temper here a little bit? He just doesn't really look like he's in control anymore.
And I think that he just realized it, to be fair.
Rui-Philippe. That Protoss still sitting there. We cannot even out it. So it looks like Arnaud just gets his turn back with that Protoss still sitting strong on the field.
Protoss is such a strong card there. Very resilient. Could have been outed. Wasn't, and now. The thing is, it's still negated. Mululu negates permanently.
At least that, yeah, true. At least something. We can find a glimmer of hope. And, okay, let's go. We found more possible rank 4 options with now the Ganbara Knight in the hand. Oh no, the Gaga Gambara Knight, of course. Not the original one, all of a sudden, no.
That would have been cool as well.
It would have been cool for sure.
And the players are packing up.
Has conceded.
It might be Arnaud, because he doesn't look too happy about this. I think this is side decking, so I think it is tied 1-1. Even though Rui-Philippe didn't have the most resources, it was not enough to get back in for Arnaud.
Yeah, I think he drew a Nibiru for turn, and that was one of the card he needed. Like, if he would have just drawn another level 4, I think there could have been a lot of things snowballing from just the opportunity to summon another level 4, which turns into Dual Drive, but then there still was the Ash Blossom and Joy Spring in the hand, right, for his opponent. 5
mana, chain Gulamel, pop a card, and then going into Athelion, add back another card.
It was too much.
There was a lot of stuff happening.
And to be fair, right now, when you go against Dracotail, when they go second, I think that the deck becomes very, very hard to deal with, because Ketu gets a second effect that it's very, very powerful, and I'm kind of curious how Ryzeal can adapt to it, and what interactions will be brought in order to deal with that.
Do you think Arnaud is bothered by a K2 if he opens like he did in the first game with all of these cards? Also, how do you play Protoss here? If you're playing versus Dracotail, what you want to call with Protoss is Earth. I think the monster that you have to make in order to be able to call Earth is your own giant hand.
Or Baguska, but yeah.
But then you can't activate Protoss anymore.
Or any Zoodiac.
Any Zoodiac. Wait, any Zoodiac. Wait, hold on.
Yeah. Oh,
destroy the Ram
Ram,
but then it cannot activate its effect anymore.
that's a very good point.
Wait, it can special summon.
It can activate the effect. Protos only locks you from a special summon.
So you summon back something. That could actually be the line. Holy, I think he might be cooking on that end. Maybe it is Protoss destroy Ram, and then Ram bring back Dryden or something like that. I think we are about to maybe see
something else.
But what else though?
You cannot bring the Dryden because it's Earth.
Oh, true. The Dryden also is Earth.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah. Well.
We will figure out.
Some monster will be brought back. Hopefully that is going to be a big combo. But actually, you haven't seen his side deck yet. And I also am not going to spoil it just yet. But there is some crazy stuff even in there where I'm not sure how that even is going to work. But there is like a technology for going first, which I've never seen in a Ryzeal deck before. That's all I'm going to say. We will see whether it will be coming in here, but it is also spicy.
Just FYI, Basti is also hiding that information from us.
Yes, of course.
The deck list, so we can't know. No idea what is going to happen, but I'm very much excited for this. This has been a blast of a duel. The first turn field of Ryzeal Onomat Zoodiac was absolutely incredible, and we've seen Giant Hand.
Yeah. I was already happy the moment we saw the barrage, honestly.
Yeah.
Honestly, just seeing that the Zodiac cards are back into the format just makes me happy immediately, right?
For me, it was Protos, to be honest.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, stop it. For me, it was fine meta, actually. I think that maybe this time, my prediction for Game 3 is going to be a massive turn 0 5 mana play. Fuse, Mululu, and Pan.
Okay.
You call it?
Yes.
I like it. I'm calling the spicy thing that comes from the side deck.
And I call X Barrage.
Oh,
Fair.
X-Barrage
I'm smelling a bonfire as well. I think he will just open with bonfire. That seems logical to me.
Yeah, it's a good card, but it plays heavily into Droll and Lockbird,
Yeah, it does.
which we have seen already in the main deck.
No, it's not a real card.
It's not a real card, of course not. But I think the players are ready for Game 3, so let's go over to the table.
Here we are, only one last game remaining to determine who is going to go out as the winner here in this round 6 featured match. Not too much time anymore on the clock, to be honest. Only 13.5 minutes. I smelled the bonfire. It's the first card they activate. I should be sitting there on the table.
To be fair, I'm very, very curious about what Basti said about the secret technology that we are going to experience. And I hope that Arnaud...
Don't try to spy on me here. I'm not even sure how we're making it, so I would also be interested
I told you, it's not a real card. It doesn't exist.
Okay, Ice Ryzeal. I think nowadays, very often, you search Ice Ryzeal with Bonfire because you just want to play around the Droll and Lockbird a little better. Because if you search X Ryzeal and then the Droll comes down, it's so hard. But now, just starting with Ice Ryzeal, it makes things a lot more handable, especially when you have Sword Rise in your deck, ready to then even set a field spell or the Plasma Hole as well. So this works. We do get X Ryzeal now to the hand as well. How are we going to do this? I think we have some Onomat cards in hand too, but that is first of all a rank 4. Is this Ryzeal Duo Drive, or do we start with a more spicy line here? We go for Trap Tricks Rafflesia, of course. We in the first game saw already that there is the trap card of the Ryzeal theme, that there is the Ryzeal Plasma Hole, but also I can tell you there even is Gravedigger's Trap Hole in
A very sneaky way to play around 5 mana, right?
It is.
Is that the crazy technology, Basti?
No.
I believe that he has something more spicy in his mind.
There is something incredibly spicy.
I've seen it now, and I have no idea how we could ever summon this in this deck.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Well, we might not see it, but Fi Gaga has been sent to the graveyard here for X. Next question is, has Arnaud ever summoned this monster in this entire tournament?
No, it's an next target.
At this point, you may think so. And I do believe I have found the solution.
Okay.
Because the technology that I'm talking about, should I say it?
Yeah, do it now.
There is XYZ Universe in the deck from him, which is a trap card that a lot of people have already forgotten, which you can access by searching it with the Gaga girl, which we have just sent to the graveyard once more. And that is actually really cool because with the XYZ universe, you can put to the graveyard Exceed monsters, 2 of them, and you can summon out an Exceed monster from the extra deck, equal the rank or lower the rank of the 2 monsters combined. And what kind of crazy Exceed monster comes to mind there?
Kaliuga.
It is Kaliuga in his side deck, crazily enough.
By the way, we're just now seeing Ash Blossom Joyous Spring being used on the Ryzeal Duo Drive and Rafflesia in response to that. But I think there is also... Oh, there is an
effect there on the Rafflesia, though. Okay.
I will say I would have used it on the Duo Drive.
I agree.
You don't take the damage.
That's a very good point, yeah.
On the other hand, I think you can also... Can you only target the Rafflesia right now?
I think it's only protected from trap card effects, so you
yeah.
cannot impermanence it. That was the thing that you might have in mind.
Yeah, no, you can only target Rafflesia. Or you cannot target other Trap Tricks monsters, but Rafflesia. But of course, the Duo Drive is not a Trap Trick monster, so that would have worked. No Ryzeal already in the hand, though. Playing through 2 hand interactions already. No Ryzeal effect. Sends also now.
Wow, that is big.
Onomato Kage.
And now I think, are we actually going to end on a big detonator and pass? Because that is very strong still.
It is. There's only 4 cards in total, but Dracotail, one of those decks where I'm like, that deck can play through a detonator like it's nothing, right?
If you have K2, then you just add Mululu, fuse it away, and then your opponent gets 1 pop out of the detonator, and honestly, might as well. That's fine.
Yep, I think so. We could also just go for... Oh, is that Banshee?
Banshee?
It is Banshee, okay. Hold on, that means we value a possible Protoss higher than a detonator.
I mean, you just said that Dracotail is one of those decks that can easily play through a detonator, so I might agree, actually.
And Rafflesia is Earth. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, true. But then...
But if you Protoss
I mean,
Earth, then you can't Rafflesia anymore.
Yeah, we lose
Oh, wait.
Rafflesia, and we have seen that there is also the Ryzeal Plasma Hole in the deck, so...
What do you call right now? Or you cannot
hold
access?
on!
Wow.
Sword Ryzeal, that works. There is no need for Protoss. We go for the Sword Ryzeal.
Star.
Yeah,
Star Ryzeal.
exactly. Yeah, we went through Sword Ryzeal already. This is Star Ryzeal, absolutely.
Okay. So we're sending away the node. We might get a Ryzeal Cross, recycle some cards, draw some more cards.
Indeed, we do. There we are.
Then we just need another level 4 monster. We can also go for Twins.
True, Twins is a good option. Twins in this deck really is just hard summon way more often than it is being sent to the graveyard with X Ryzeal. I love that. Okay, gets a card for free.
But we've gone through a node already, so getting rid of Eclipse Twins might be harder.
True. Absolutely. Oh, yes! Zoodiac Barrage was the card we picked up there. Lovely to see. This may be the one that makes the difference. Destroys itself to summon out another Zoodiac from the deck. Is it Ram time again, or is it Ratpier time this time around?
I think if you start Barrage, you want to go for Ram. But if you start with a Red Pin normal summon, you could send Ram and then go for some more plays.
True, and now that of course creates a different way on how to possibly get rid of that.
What are we going
Twins
for now?
again?
Probably Chaka 9, so Trident can have more interactions.
Yeah, true. We can just or we just go Baguska. Fair, that works.
Baguska is very vulnerable to everything that Dracotail does with all of those graveyard effects, because you can just, as long as there are no Photon Dragon, you can just pop it.
But I mean, you have Ryzeal Crossface up on the field. That protects you from the one effect that can pop. So I think it's actually a really solid setup here against the deck. Because you can just negate the thing that would go after your Baguska. And then, besides that, Dracotail with all those fusion monsters just struggles so hard not being able to activate any of this.
You just choose the good old Urgula and Mululu or Pan. And then you're going to be fine.
Okay.
Rui-Philippe.
Draw face.
What is happening now?
Oh,
You called it, bastard.
We had it hard drawn, or maybe we also drew it there with the Ryzeal Cross XYZ universe. And Rui-Philippe does not know what's going on. 2 rank 4 monsters. I've never seen this in practice. Crazy. I know, look, he's smiling into the camera. Holy, he is pulling off something crazy here.
Arnaud, the showman, showing his opponent how it's done. This is a crazy technology for going first after signing. Banishing those cards. Of course, Sword goes to the graveyard. And now
Look
we are
at
going to
this,
see
look at this. Attaches the universe as material. And here comes the DDD Dual Dawn King Kaliuga. Yes, DDD is back into the format, being a big factor due to the new cards in Doom of Dimensions. This DDD card was not the one I was expecting to have impact this weekend, though.
This card is absolutely crazy. If you summon it on your opponent's turn, there is nothing that they can do anymore. I think there's no cards. Cards cannot be activated on the field and other cards' effect are negated.
Yeah.
And please note that he is not interacting with Baguska, since
Very important
Baguska
note.
only negates the activated effects.
Yes, very, very important note. That was always the thing with the Kaliuga. You couldn't really stop it because it quote-unquote doesn't activate. It just applies immediately when summoned, and therefore the Baguska not able to negate this. That is, I mean, we thought about searching cards like the new Counter Trap, the XYZ Counter Trap with the Gaga Girl, but searching XYZ Universe is actually a crazy technology. I love this.
I love the fact that now Arnaud explains to Rui-Philippe that he cannot activate any card.
Well, no, it's that easy. You just don't do anything. Just you have to pass here. Nothing you can do.
And it is a pass indeed. Turn goes over to Arnaud, who is nodding. He knows he still has that Ryzeal cross on the field, so not really anything can stop him here. Baguska in the standby phase. Arnaud, you have 5 minutes to close out this game here this turn. I'm sure you will be able to do so because the Kaliuga alone already has 3,500 attack points.
I think we already have game with a dual drive boost.
Probably, yeah.
So on everything, it's 2-7, 2-3. Yes, that's 8,500 damage.
Nice calculations, Leo.
Thank you. It might be wrong.
But, I mean, in any case, you have also 2 material into a dual drive.
It's actually 8-7.
Even better math, Leo. You're the mathematician. Now we draw 2 cards. Oh, we put back 2 cards to draw 1 card with Ryzeal cross. Arnaud, don't leave us hanging. Just go into the battle phase. You need to close this out quickly here. Oh. 5 mana
is being used here. Might have been a top deck after the Rafflesia has been used already. Ryzeal Cross is going to negate that. 300 attack points are now missing, which should still be more than enough. For Arnaud, puts the Baguska in attack position, Duo Drive in attack position, and Kaliuga as well. You can already still activate the Duo Drive. All of your Ryzeal monsters have been recycled, except for X.
And now we just picked up the Protos as well. Kaliuga next to Arch Nemesis Protos on the field. And the match for Arnaud with his crazy pile. Ryzeal Onomat Zoodiac with Protos and Kaliuga.
I think you forgot one. They were sitting next to Baguska, the terribly tired tapir. This is the holy trinity of not letting your opponent play the game.
Such a healthy field, right? Baguska, Kaliuga, Protos. I mean, it is one of those fields that screams to your opponent, you are not playing the game. It's just it. It's so simple.
That was hilarious, honestly. That deck is cool, and the XYZ Universe technology, really, I have not seen anyone do that ever, so maybe something people should be on the lookout for.
Especially if you can search it with Gaga Curl. He sent it as an X target, and now we know why, because it just couldn't fulfill its purpose anymore.
Yeah.
You don't have to search Exceeds
Universe. Not that easy, yeah.
And then, if you have it already, goody.
I mean,
You're right.
it is one of those technologies, as Basti said in the start of the round, that you caught your opponent off guard.
Yeah.
You are trying to, expect the unexpected kindly, right? When your opponent activates X's Universe, you are not prepared for Kaliuga, for example.
You need Red Reboot.
Well, that card is forbidden. A lot of cards are often forbidden in limited lists, but Red Reboot is not.
Honestly, there's one card in this format that actually stops this card, and this is a card that is most of the time already used in the first turn. That is Dominus Impulse.
Well, yeah.
You can impulse that, but most of the time you've already activated it.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe versus this deck not even, because what are you impulsing? Exceed summons? I don't think so.
Maybe like Ice Riser or something when you start with that. But it's not great, I agree.
But do you want to, against this deck, do you actually want to impulse Ice?
It's tough, not really, yeah.
I mean, he was playing Dracotail, probably no impulse in his deck.
Okay. Yes. In this matchup, I think the Dracotail deck had not a single card in the deck. I mean, the 5 mana top deck was a bit crucial because otherwise there's no explanation for it not to be used on the first turn, right? Ash Blossom and Valor used?
Yeah, he was waiting, and he had 5 mana in the first hand, but he didn't activate because he had 1 monster and 1 spell. Yeah.
Okay, that is crazy.
The curse of Dracotail. This is why you cannot afford to play cards, for example, impermanence, which is a very strong hand drop, obviously. But you need monsters. You need target for 5 mana in order to fusion summon and summon potentially Arthalion in order to interact with your opponent.
True.
Also, breaker cards in the side deck are not the best there. You can go for Dino Wrestler Pancratops. That is a field-breaking card. That is still a monster. I love this card so much, which is part of the reason I started playing Dracotail, actually, because I just wanted to summon the big dino. I'm like
big dinos. I mean, and you're also like Din Kabuya, as we saw in the last feature match. Of course, summoning that Dogoran. I mean, we have some stuff going here this weekend. Every feature match is honestly another surprise, another sign that we are in a really fun format right now, and it keeps on giving this event. And I mean, we even have more rounds of Swiss to enjoy this weekend. This was only round 6. We have 15 in total, so we're only like 1/3 through with the Swiss rounds. A little more than that, but approximately. So much fun.